Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shireen Dickens,
And I'm Clyde Morrison.
and we are with the business of cleaning, where we show self-employed cleaning owners how to go from self-employed to CEO. Today, I'm talking with Clive, the absolute master of systems, and he is going to fill us in on the scheduling system. What is it? Why do we need it for our business? And why we shouldn't even be running our cleaning services without it. Trust me, I tried. It's a mass of text to different people, information getting lost. If you've been in that boat, you need to tune in here today because Clive, the systems master, is going to show us exactly how to work this out. So, like I said, we're here with Clive. He's the master of scheduling systems. Tell us, what is a scheduling system and why is it even important to a cleaning owner, to a cleaning business owner?
First thing is I want to say, well, the master, you know.
The master! Stop doubting yourself, bro.
But the thing is with a scheduling system, we're talking about software. That's
Yes.
the first thing I want to clear out because everybody has a system. Either you know it or not, right? You're still working something, you're doing text messages, that was a system, right?
Yeah.
If you're having on a piece of paper on your wall, that's a system.
Yeah.
We're talking about software systems and how that can actually help you out, right? So most people start out with, they have a calendar on their wall. They're like, I got Susie on Wednesday and John on Tuesday,
Yeah.
and it's 5:49, right? But how do you make sure your cleaners know what's going on, right? How do you know what's going on, documenting everything, having somewhere? So we're talking about scheduling software, going from offline to online.
Okay.
The most basic software system is free as Google,
Okay.
right? You can have a Google Calendar, and inside that calendar, you can put all your software. If I was by myself, I would probably do that. Right,
I didn't even know Google Calendars had like a scheduling software.
So Google Calendar, you can send out, you can invite people into the software. So if I had somebody's email, I would add them in there, invite them, put them on the calendar, and have all the information about the cleaning, so that we're all on schedule with the cleaning.
Gotcha.
So that's just by myself, right? I would say, hey John, what's your email? Have John's email and have a description of what we're coming to clean, so there's no misclarification.
Okay.
Stepping up, you have a team. So now you want to make sure there's communication between you, your team, and your cleaners. I mean, and the people who you're cleaning for.
Okay.
So you want to have a central place where you can see that, hey, we're cleaning John, Mary's going to clean John, and Mary has all the information she needs to clean John and do it correctly. Right? So that's what the scheduling software does. Most software systems now, you can take payments in there, you can have invoicing in there, and you can make sure you see who for a week out, 2 weeks out, recurring. There's so many things that you can do in there. You can have your schedule for your employees, what days they come to work, what days they're not coming to work. So a scheduling software does a variety of things.
Okay, so basically it is the way to keep all of our information together in one place that's not like all over the place. It's not like me sending a text to one cleaner with the information to go to the client's house and then me calling the client and saying the cleaner's coming. It's more so a system that puts all that together in one space that you can control.
Definitely. Just so you can control it, so you can know what's going on, right? So you're a master hub of all your clients and your cleaners in one place where you can see all the people who are clients, and you can make sure that you're organizing those clients in an efficient way so you can know who needs to be cleaned, when it's going to be cleaned, and what cleaning we need to do.
Awesome. So for me, I've dealt with a few of the scheduling systems. I've dealt with House Call Pro. That was good for me when I had less than 10 cleaners. I've had Jobber. We're looking into booking Koala right now. Have you had experience with any of these systems? And if so, can you give us a little insight on them?
So I've had experience with all of them, right?
Okay.
And
of course.
because I'm testing all of them, I want to see what's most efficient. What happens with most software, and this for everybody, like to begin with, none of them's going to steer you wrong, right? I don't want to say that, hey, House Call Pro or Booking Koala or Launch 27 or Job or any of these systems is going to be like, oh, it's a massive difference. Now, for me, the system, of course, there's differences and there's little nuances that I don't like. And they're always updating. So even though I've seen one 6 months ago, if I haven't been back there in 6 months, they've had updates that I don't know about. And number one thing is don't let everybody tell you what system to get into. If your system's working for you, if you're not finding problems with it, then you're okay. But it's when you're outgrowing the system, it's like, oh, I would love to do this or I love to do that. And we're not looking for software. And we say, oh, what can the software? We're going to buy the software and try to fit our business in the software. We're going to create our business and then find the software that fits our business.
That makes more sense. A lot of times people will go out and try to be sold on these big name softwares that have all these thousands of bells and whistles. If that's not what's working for you, that's not what's working. Like you said, you go with a software that works for you. They're all going to kind of do the same thing. But as you grow your business and find little nuances that one program does better or that does differently that works for you, that's kind of what you'll go with.
If you know what you want, right, that's the first thing, right? Everything is extra. So the first thing is like, all right, what do I want out of a scheduling software? Right, I want to make sure it sends out reminder emails. I want to make sure I can schedule my cleaners. I want to see if it has a map in there, right? You want to know what you want first. Then you can go ask questions. Hey, do you have this? Do you have that? And they'll say, yes, we have A, B, C, and D. Now, all right, I can go get it. Then you say, hey, it doesn't even, and then they'll be like, well, we have H, J, K, Z, and everything on it. That adds on it. That's just an add on. You may use it, you may not. But you want to make sure it has fitting into what you need for your program. I'm going to give you one of our biggest things, right, is charging credit cards. So we hold cards before we go out to any service, right? We just the other day where we talking about
the smart thing to do. You gotta pay me up front.
So it's not an actual payment. It's like when you go to a hotel, and when you go to a hotel, they pre-approve your card for a certain fee. So when they pre-approve that card, it's to make sure you have the funds, right? We want to make sure that we're not going out there for no reason, because we pay our cleaners no matter what, right? If they're going out there to the job, we pay them for at least 4 hours for going out to the job. You cancel them out, so that cancellation goes to them. You want to make sure, so we want to make sure that we're having that card on file. We pre-authorize the charge. We have that card. If they want to add more, take something on, we can do all that. But we want to make sure that's there. Being that happens, so that's important to it. So if a software system doesn't have it, that's a no-go for us, right?
Understood. Like for me, what's important to me is the GPS login. I need to know that my cleaners are on site at the time that I've scheduled. So if I'm looking for a booking system, it has to have that. And if it doesn't, that doesn't work for me.
That doesn't work for you.
But then again, that comes back down to, like you said, knowing exactly what it is you need, what metrics are important, for you to run your business, what metrics are important for you to make sure that your cleaners are getting out there, that your clients are being serviced. And once you know exactly what that means, you can find a scheduling software that works for you.
Yeah. So going with the scheduling software, one of the things that business owners do, they find a problem where there's no problem, or they're trying to solve a problem that's not important.
I've done it.
Right? You be like, well, we need to solve A, B, C, and D problem. That's problems in your head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even a problem. It's really going on right now. You know what I'm saying?
Guilty.
But you're trying to solve a problem. So, and when there's really emergency things that you need to be focused on and solving those problems right now. So if your scheduling software is good, if somebody calls you up and says, you need to change your software. You're like, and they're telling you all the things to solve. I didn't even think about that. But that's not a problem right now. Like, we need to work on, getting more clients, right? We need to be acquiring, we need to retaining more clients. Now, if that works in that favor, that's something else. Then you see, hey, is that a problem? But you need to focus on what's the major problem that we have right now. And a lot of times, we don't want to go after shiny object syndrome, right? We don't want to see something and be like, you need to do this. So once you have that scheduling software, we want to make sure something that fits our program, right? Not we don't look for the software. We need software that fits our program, right?
Yes.
And it has the basic things of sending out emails, and it has so that you can be more organized in it, right? So I hope that gave you clarity on how to schedule software.
It did for me. I wish I had thought of that initially. When I first found the need, having maybe 3 cleaners or more, that I needed to organize my information, I definitely went after the most giant program with all the bells and whistles. Didn't use 80% of that. So, once I found something that worked for me, again, those are the key words, work for you. You have to know what metrics are important to you to know what scheduling system works for you. But I do want to say that every cleaning owner must have a scheduling system, whichever one you pick. It just comes across as more professional when you are scheduling your job and your client gets a text that says your cleaner is on the way, or it gets a text or an invoice with your logo on it, something that most scheduling systems can do, or it'll get a reminder email. It just sets you apart as a professional.
Yeah, and all those things you can do without the scheduling software, but you'll go crazy trying to do it, right?
Yeah, you will.
You want to text somebody when you're coming. Once you have 3 or 4 cleaners by yourself, you can do all these things by yourself. But once you get a couple cleaners and you're doing that, you don't want to be wasting your time for $100, $200. This scheduling software is at $50 a month, right? When you're first starting out, so you can start at a low barrier and be able to get in there and grow. And then I look at it, tell people, hey, grow with your software, right? It'll break. The software will get to the point where it's like it's breaking, and your cleaners will tell you, and your admin will tell you, and people will tell you like this software is not working anymore, and that's when you go out and try to get something new.
Okay. So as CEOs of our cleaning company, our mindset here is that to set something in place that is going to allow your business to grow and scale with you. You don't have to bring anything in up front with all the big bells and whistles. You don't need the $100,000 camera if you're shooting a 5-minute YouTube series. It's the same thing with the cleaning. You don't need a big giant system with you and your 2 cleaners, but you do need a system, and you do need to manage it so that as you are growing, you know if you have outgrown it.
Exactly. All right. So I hope that video gave you guys some insight. I hope if you have a scheduling system, let me know down below in the comments what scheduling system you use. I would love to know and answer all the questions.
What the pros and cons are of it.
Yeah, what the pros and what do you like, what you don't like about it, right? So definitely, we'll see you guys in the next video. The business of cleaning, here to serve you from self-employed to CEO.